and welcome to another Captain Entertainment video. Welcome to day 24 of video Palooza 2026. This is my why I'm giving Star Trek Voyager yet another chance video, and why I think you should do is because now we can binge watch it and critically analyze it. One thing I've noticed while watching it, because I've already started watching it, is the acting is superb. If memory serves, it's the writing that lets the show down. But once I do a full series review after watching all 7 seasons, which I'm not going to give up this time because it deserves a fair shake, because I didn't fall in love with the Star Trek Deep Space Nine until I gave it a fair shake. Now, yes, I liked it when it originally aired, but I truly didn't fall in love with it until I watched it on then Netflix before Paramount Plus was a thing. But I am watching Voyager on Paramount Plus. It of course stars Kate Mulgrew as Captain Janeway, Robert Duncan McNeil as Lieutenant/Ensign Tom Paris, Jennifer Leone as Kess, Robert Picardo as the Doctor, Robert Beltran as Commander Chakotay, Ethan Phillips as Neelix, and Roxanna Dawson as, that's what she goes by now. It's credited as Roxanna Biggs Dawson as B'Elanna Torres. So I think that's everybody on the... Oh, and of course, Jerry Ryan later on becomes 7 of 9. But I like the idea of Star Trek Voyager. Them being stranded out in the Delta Quadrant is a wonderful, nerdily rich idea. However, they don't manage it well. In the first few episodes, they talk about they only have 36 complement of photon torpedoes, and they have no way to refill them. Later on, they're just firing willy-nilly. And it happens in the middle of season frickin' 1. They're just like, we're not going to handle that anymore. We're just going to stop mentioning it so that maybe the audience forgets about it. But the audience doesn't forget about it because the Star Trek audience is one of the more smarter audiences that watch television, and they're wise to these things. Now, yes, other than the Borg, who make their home base in the Delta Quadrant, we've known that since Star Trek The Next Generation, they got to play with any amount of enemies they wanted to play with. Because the Delta Quadrant was largely unexplored. Only the Alpha Quadrant, Starfleet's home base and the Federation's home base, is the one that's truly explored very well. The Gamma Quadrant gets a little bit explored in DS9, and the third quadrant, which I don't know what they call it, I'm going to call it the Beta Quadrant. It might be the Omega Quadrant. Has yet to be explored whatsoever in the Star Trek universe, to my knowledge. So you've got Alpha, Delta, and Gamma. It's probably Omega, the Omega Quadrant, to be honest with you. But it was a wonderful idea, and before anybody says anything, Kate Mulgrew was the first full-time actress to play a Starfleet captain. Yes, we did have Captain Rachel Garrett, who was captain for, I believe, a short stint in a movie, and I think a TNG episode, maybe? But the first real female captain is played by Kate Mulgrew. It's Captain Catherine Janeway. And the gravitas that Kate Mulgrew brings to the role is on par with William Shatner, on par with Jean-Luc Picard, on par with Scott Bakula, and yes, close to, if not on par with Benjamin Sisko. Benjamin Sisko, I think, brings the most gravitas, followed by, if I was to rank them, it would be Sisko, Picard, Archer, Kirk, and then Janeway brings up the rear, but only because Janeway makes questionable decisions. Now, you could argue those questionable decisions are because the writers make her make those decisions, which we can argue that all day, and I can be in agreement with you. I can be in agreement with you even in those arguments. Like that is a full-fledged possibility, and a full-fledged probably reality. It's probable that that's probably what happened. But I'm enjoying seeing certain arcs that I don't remember, like Kes and the Doctor's arc. I do remember the Forever Ensign Harry Kim's arc with Tom Paris. I just enjoy the arcs of the characters that are just building their own togetherness. I don't agree necessarily with the captain kind of being off on her own. A lot of the time, yes, she is a confidant in Tuvok. She is a confidant in Commander Chakotay, and she's friendly with all of the crew. But one would think that you would genuinely relax the Starfleet protocols because you're so far from Starfleet. You would tend to be less of a crew and become more of a family, because life has to continue. So that's another thing I think they missed the mark on. I think they missed the mark on exploring genuine scarcity in Star Trek. At least from what I remember. Now, why am I giving this show another shot since I painted it so badly? Well, I want to give it a fair shake because, to be honest with you, I have never seen it all the way through. It was one of those shows that was on syndication on UPN, and it was on late night, and in my area, they moved it around whenever they had something else going on, say like ice skating or football. They would move it to a death knell hour of like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, to where most of your Star Trek audience would have to set their recorders, or they would just miss it because they'd be asleep. So it got the death knell treatment in a lot of ways. So did Enterprise, for that matter. At least nationally around the country. It didn't get the same treatment that TNG got, that DS9 got. DS9 got moved, but only when something major happened. But Voyager got moved for anything that the network that ran in my area thought would pull more ratings. And that's why I say it never really got a fair shake. So that's why I'm giving it its fair shake. So leave in the comments down below if you watched Voyager in its entirety yet. And if you have, leave spoiler-free comments of what you thought. Leave those in the comments down below. But that is what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing it, to finally give Captain Janeway a fair shake. Because Captain Janeway is a great character. Captain Janeway is a great character. We've seen that from Prodigy. We see that in the Extended Litverse, Star Trek Extended Litverse. We see it constantly. Absolutely constantly we see it. But it is time I give the show a fair shake. And if my preconceptions or preconceived notions hold weight, you'll get a full review on why that is once I'm done watching the series. Now, that may be a little while from now, because I'm not going to just race through the 7th season just so I can do the review. I'm going to watch a few episodes here and there, so it might be a few months down the road. But this video is on the record. Of me saying that that's why we're doing it, and that's why we're going to do a review on this channel of Star Trek Voyager, the complete series, once I see it all the way through. So, with that said, This is where I normally say, you know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. But without further ado, happy watching. I'll see you again soon, as we're in the throes of Video Palooza. That'll be tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I know what it's going to be. I'm still not going to tell you what it is. I absolutely know what it's going to be, but I'm not telling you what it is. You just have to tune in tomorrow. Teaser. But until next time, guys, happy watching, happy reading, happy gaming. I'll see you again soon. And peace.